How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Zwift race. I am, sort of excited about this one. This is stage 3 of the Zwift Games. I've done the other 2 stages, and I'll link those videos somewhere at some point. I sort of, you know, jinxed myself, I guess, because last race I I said that I kind of wanted like a slightly longer race, and yeah, this one's slightly longer. It's also there's some more climbing in this one. So yeah, I don't think Zwift like watches my videos, but I see what you're doing. Each stage in the Zwift games is gonna be like slightly longer. I feel like first one was real short. Second one was like still pretty short. This one hurt a bit. I feel like the next couple are gonna also hurt. But so let's get into this one. So this is my normal Friday morning Zwift race. This is 8 a.m. East Coast time. East Coast US time. And there are how many people? Lucky number of people in this race as well. I will let you look at that number. And I am, coming into this race feeling okay, feeling pretty good. So I have not really taken like many rest days recently. So I've been maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say like overtrained, but for me, for my fitness and my training, I'm probably more miles than normal this week. But I'm feeling pretty good. The course is one that I do know. So like the Richmond map's not very big, and I've done the courses on the map before, and they all do kind of the same things. I think this is maybe a new one, but like the climbs and things like that are pretty much the same. So I do know these climbs, and they're relatively short and pretty steep, actually. Yeah, like this course is tough. I think kudos to Peter Sagan. I think won the Richmond like UCI Worlds at this course, and like that was pretty impressive. Like this course is not fun, but my idea going into this course was there's like 3 little bumps basically in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Doing one now, and my goal was to basically maintain touch with the front of the pack through the first 3 bumps. So there's like 2 at the very beginning. So we just did the first one, and there's like a tiny little downhill, and then we'll jump into the second one really quickly. And I am, I have to do a little bit of an effort, like as soon as we get up to the top of the first one, just to maintain touch with the front. But I'm like pretty much there. There's a couple guys off the front. I'm pretty sure they're gonna come back, although we'll get into one of them later. So we're into the second little bump here, and this one's much faster, but it is much steeper. So we gotta kind of hit it through this. I do that. We're still only like 4 or 5 minutes into this race, and it's hard already. These are like super steep. You're able to see like 13%. I think I don't know. It feels like 20%, but I think it's like 13, 14-ish% on some of those climbs. But they are relatively short so far. And all right, so back to the goals. So these are the first 2. My goal is to stay in touch with the front group through the first 3. So there's the first 2 here. Then we got a little bit of a flat there's like a downhill, a little bit of a flat, and then there's into like a slightly less steep, longer rise ish, as like, what's that, 10-ish minutes in. And I feel like that one's probably going to hurt more. So you can see, like, at the top of the second rise, I'm averaging 3.8 watts per kilo, which is much more than I can do for this whole race. So I'm hoping that the guys off the front kind of calm it down a bit and kind of, pull back. I think they do end up doing that, but like at the moment I was a little bit worried that somebody was gonna take off, but there's a little flat going on here, so I stuck with this group, and I knew that the third climb here was probably gonna hurt more than this. So I accomplished my goal. I am with this front pack going into the third climb, and I'm still feeling okay, actually. Pretty big power through the first little bit, but feeling okay. I do think that I've raced with a couple of these guys before. Like, there's two guys in the front. The guy in the flower jersey, like the blue and the pink. That's oh gosh, I'm gonna annihilate that name. LaCroix. And then there's another guy, Jay Williams. They like to ride off the front a bit, and I'm pretty sure I've raced with them before, and I do know that they are super strong and they do ride off the front. So I kind of have my eye on them, and they will probably come back into play a little bit later. But this is like kind of the main part that I was worried about. So the first two climbs, I figured that I could, just hammer it through them and maintain touch. This third one, after already being like a bit fatigued through those two, trying to maintain touch with the front is what I was worried about. But I do actually do a pretty good job of like staying in the front. I think my positioning going in was really good. So I was sort of at the front of the pack, and I do a little bit of a sag climb, I guess, but I do a pretty good job of staying with this front group. So I am like in the mix, but also feeling it. Like, my heart rate's pretty high. I think I got up to 177, 178 ish through that climb, which is pretty high for me. Max is like 184, 185. So I was kind of feeling it. But into some flats here, and then like downhills and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up. But we'll talk about some numbers actually, because I was talking last week, and if you haven't watched the video, I'll link them somewhere. I've been doing pretty good with the numbers. So I've hit some like 1, 5, and then like maybe 15-second ish power best. So like 1 minute, 5 minute type power best. Oh, you will see my little chat there. If you have not done stage 3 yet, they do like play little games with you. So at the very beginning, they give you a feather power up, and then they don't give you any other power ups basically throughout the rest of the race. It's just like the health, like the pluses. So like it's really not going to help you. So I really should have kept that feather for the end. Not that it would have made a difference, but that is something that I probably should have thought about beforehand. I did watch a couple of videos beforehand on this race, but I did not note that. I should have should have really noted that. So, but as far as power goes, so yeah, I've been feeling pretty good. Like my training coming into this race, this week anyway, like I've been doing more miles I think than average. For me anyway, I kind of shifted towards a bit more base miles, and maybe not necessarily as harder efforts, but I have been doing a bit more miles. I've been feeling good though. So in terms of like fatigued, I think maybe a little bit more than normal, but I think I'm doing fine. You can see the yellow jersey and then the like blue and pink flower jersey. You did see them take off. I noticed that as well. They like to ride up there, and I am. I'm hurting already. So this was the goal, like to save energy for these last few climbs. I feel like I did that, but man, they were really hard after that like 30-minute effort. So first climb here, and I'm like, all right, I really, really need to be like in touch with the leaders at the end of this climb. So I do what I think anyway is like monster effort in order to be in touch with them. And I think like there's no way that they can do the same thing through the next climb. That was my thinking anyway. And I don't know. I think I do a pretty good job. So at the top of this first little rise, well, I say little rise, it was steep. It felt steep. That was hard. I make it a point at the top to like keep my effort going for an extra 10 or so seconds, just to try to catch the group that like had a little bit of a gap going in, and I do like, and you can see other guys like commenting like that was hard. That was really hard. I am hurting. You see my heart rate 180, and like that's I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done going, and there's like 2 climbs to go, so I'm not super excited about the next 2 climbs, but we'll see what happens. And the field is absolutely like decimated. So behind me, like I don't know what's going on. I know there's like maybe a little group going on, but like I'm like kind of done. So I'm like, all right, like I can hammer it through this short steep one. So I kind of stand up, give it a little, I'm like 400 watts for 10 seconds or so, and like guys are just walking away from me, which is ridiculous. That's so fast. Like I put in a huge effort here, or I felt like it was a huge effort, and nothing. Like guys just took off. So unfortunately, I was a little disheartened by that. I had really hoped that like second to last hill was going to be my spot where I could like, not get a gap on the field or anything like that, but like kind of be a little more comfortable. And I feel like I hit it hard, and they just took off. So it was kind of crazy. So get a little bit of a break here, do a little super tuck down this descent, and then I've at this point, like I've kind of already resigned to hopefully a top 10. Like there's no way that I'm catching the leaders, which are like 8 or 9 seconds up the road, along with another climb to go at the very end. So maybe a little bummed, but yeah, I'm tired. In terms of like average power going on, so I do kind of okay, I guess. Last couple of races, since they've been shorter, I've averaged a bit more like watts per kilo. I think I was like 3.6, 3.7 the last couple of races. This one I averaged 3.5, I believe, for the whole race, which is a little bit less than the last few, but you know, I do set some PRs for like 30 to 35-ish minutes, or maybe up to like 40-ish minutes. But so I average, yeah, like I said, 3.5. So I'm up like 215, 220-ish watts for 40 minutes, which, you know, for me is, yeah, I would say pretty good. So I'm happy with that. And I, you know, going in this last climb, like I said, I was kind of done. I was really tired, and like I felt like I could give it a little more, and you know, I'm pushing, and like nothing. I don't want to say nothing is happening, because I'm still putting out decent numbers, I guess, but like guys are just kind of walking away from me. So I sort of resigned myself around here, I would think, to a top 10, but no sort of podium or anything like that. So kudos to the guys that, you know, are up the road. That was impressive. I end up, what do I end up? I end up ninth out of 69. And, you know, I'll take it. It's fine. Boost the racing score a bit. I think I'm up to 415, 416, something like that ish. So yeah, that was hard. It was a hard race. I don't know. Maybe I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. But yeah, it was definitely hard. I was done going into it. So, but it was fun. Obviously, I am always excited about these weekly races. It helps sort of break up the training a bit, and, you know, give it a little bit of like a different atmosphere, rather than just like sticking it on erg mode and, you know, going for an hour or whatever. So, all right, coming into the last straightaway, there's nobody behind me. Well, they're 12, 13 seconds back. The guy in front of me that just passed, he had a little something left. I had nothing left. So I do not do any kind of sprint. I had zero left in the tank for this end. But like I said, I wind up 9th out of 69, and I'm okay with that, I guess. So we're on to next week. I don't know what next week looks like. I'm sure that I see what Zwift's doing. They're making them longer each week, and I'm sure it's going to be harder. But yeah, we will give it a try, I'm sure. And thanks for watching. If you want to see next week, feel free to subscribe, and I will catch you later. Thanks.